In today's session, we were just trying to understand the significance or importance of uh, C programming language. Okay, what is that we are going to look in our today's session is why it is to choose the C programming language, and what is that you are going to learn in our curriculum, in the sense the outline if you opt for learning C language. Okay, so what is that we are going to cover majorly? That is another thing. I'm going to give a glimpse of what is a modular programming approach, because C falls under procedural languages. Then how the things are solved. Okay, something like that. We'll look into a bit of history of how the C evolved. Okay, and then next we will also check on. Okay, once we are done with the C course, okay, what are our possible paths available? Okay, and as well as an important thing is having a domain specific knowledge is also quite important. I'll speak about that, okay, regarding that also. And before we conclude, we'll see about where the C programming language is used. Is it really used till now? If it is so, where it is used, okay, and that's how C is going to uh, help us, okay, in our career path. Okay. Well, to begin with, um, if you just check on, okay, if you remember, it is of course right now also most of the universities for the several kind of courses, could be graduation or post graduation, so whatever it is, okay, you still find C being included in the curriculum. Okay, though it is a very old language, why it is there, okay, or why most of the guys start learning the programming language, okay, using C. Okay, that is the important thing to understand. Okay, the programming constructs and the fundamentals of programming, how to program, is basically well learned with the C programming language, guys. So that is the most important thing. In a sense, things which you learn here can make you, okay, to adopt for another programming language quite easily. C being so robust, it is having the abilities to look into the in and out of fundamental programming language. What are the constructs available as a programming language? And it, of course, holds all possible constructs a programming language should hold. Just in case if you somebody here is from technical background, okay, it goes up to the dealing with the memory dynamically. Okay, you can talk to uh, hardware of the machine. Okay, it's just a general purpose programming language. This general purpose programming language is not a small word, guys. It's a big word actually. General purpose programming language means for any purpose I should be able to design the software. Okay, so C is given a tag called as general purpose programming language, which for easily some XYZ programming language you may not find this tag associated with other programming languages. Maybe for the very popular such as Java or .NET or Python, you find that. But if you move on to some programming language such as Fortran or COBOL and so on, you may not find this. Now let me uh, give you a bit idea about what is the meaning of general purpose programming language. It means something like you should be in a position to design software for any purpose. General purpose. Now let me talk about general purpose. If I want to add two numbers, I should be able to do that. If I want to uh, write a program for my rice cooker, electronic rice cooker, I should be able to do that. If I want to shoot a missile onto another target, I should be able to do that. If I want to communicate with a satellite, I should be able to do that. If I want to perform some surgery with the help of electronic equipment, I should be able to do that. See here how my examples are varying. I'm going from calculator to surgery to satellite. So that is the meaning of general purpose programming language. You should be fundamentally doing any sort of application. You should be in a position to do any sort of application design, software design using the C programming language. And that is why it is tagged as a general purpose programming language. Okay. And that is why the second bullet is saying that yes, a good programming language to begin with to understand the constructs, fundamental constructs available in programming languages. Most of the fundamental constructs are available in C language. And that is why it is quite helpful, okay, to design any sort of applications or softwares using C language. Okay. Hope I am clear about, okay, so what is the C offering? Okay, so hence not only acting as a fundamental programming language to understand the programming concepts, rather than it's far better than what just being a, so people, sometimes I find that people learn C language as, okay, if I learn C language, that is be a basics to understand programming language. Well, it is fine, but C is not restricted to up to that level, guys. Okay, so in our discussion, we will check plenty of things associated with this. Well then, let me move on to the next thing. What is that we are offering in our entire curriculum of C language? Okay, so it's actually I should be able to mention all the table of contents, but I'll just pull out the abstract of the program here. Okay. Yes, you'll be understanding how to work with the integrated development environment. So what does that IDE stands for here is, IDE stands for integrated development environment. Okay. Then next, we will also be working with command line compilers. Okay, in a sense, how to uh, compile the program from console window. Okay, that could be a command window of Windows operating system, or it could be a console of Unix, Linux, or Mac operating system. Okay, so that is the one area we'll be looking into. Other area, as I said, is integrated development environment. So IDE is just like a piece of software coming with facilities and tools like project management. Okay, in itself, it gives you a text editor to write the program, and that's okay. So you have choices. It is up to the personal decision. Okay, do you want to stick on to IDE for your programming development, or do you want to uh, go ahead with the command line compilers and practice over there? That is the one thing. Okay. Then, yes, basically, see, there are two major categories of programming languages. One is procedural approach, and the other one is object-oriented programming system. Okay, so on a global picture, there are basically two ways of solving the problem using the programming languages falling under two categories. One is procedural approach. Another one is object-oriented. There are other categories, but I'm just talking about the major categories. Now, C falls under procedural programming language, guys, wherein the more emphasis is on uh, break down the problem into sub-problems and try to achieve a given problem. So that is what modular approach. A learner of C language, according to me, okay, should exhibit its fundamental behavior. If you are not exhibiting its fundamental behavior, how it is designed, okay, how it is meant to be solving the problems or designing the software, then the question is, what is that we are trying to learn in C language? Hence, this is the important factor. Okay, the programming languages are designed under, and this programming language comes under a category of procedural languages, So are you exhibiting this property in your application design or problem solving or not? That is the important question. So emphasis will be lot on that, okay, and it is having benefits uh, of putting this emphasis, okay, while solving the problem. Of course, whenever we are going through our what is that curriculum, we'll be understanding, yes, what are the benefits of a modular approach. Okay. On the other hand, we'll be looking into okay, pointers. Yes. Okay. People are scared of pointers, at least the learners of C programming. But once they get acquainted, they start appreciating it. Yes. Okay. So this pointers is a powerful phenomenon of C language, which helps to do plenty of things, sometimes miscellaneous, sometimes useful. Okay. And we'll be having a detailed understanding of power of pointers also. Okay. Next is text processing is also an important factor. Okay. In the real-time application design, you should be in a good position for text processing. Okay. Uh, we will also have a good hands-on, okay, understanding how shall we process text very efficiently. That is the one thing we are able to know, okay, after in the course of curriculum. Okay. Then next, we will be talking to the storage devices. I mean, secondary storage devices, such that we can store our data permanently on in the form of files, irrespective of whatever the storage device is. That could be a hard disk or a pen drive, etc. Okay, because before we communicate with the storage devices, anything we discuss from C language and any data we process is basically volatile. Volatile means what? Whatever the data you store, that will be in the RAM, and once your program terminates, gone. Okay, so hence, having some experience, good experience working with the files, okay, helps you to store and process the data from the hard disk in the form of files. That's it. So that's the very outline approach, okay, with a very outline thing. I am here presenting what are the main things we are going to learn from our C programming language. Okay. Well, uh, as I said, let me talk a bit about modular approach. Okay, so what is this modular approach and why this is important? We will try to understand. Here, I put here a small example. Supposingly, I'm giving you a big hall, okay, with tables, chairs, and shelves, and a big pile of books. I'm asking you to make it a library using this big hall. So, what is that I'm offering you? I'm giving you tables, chairs, uh, some shelves, iron shelves to place your books, okay, and a big empty hall. Now, how shall we think? Okay, so to make it as a library, what is our approach? How we'll be doing it? And yes, quite sensibly. So if you ask me, I'll do it something like this. First, I will try to arrange the shelves properly in that big hall given to me, such that there is a space to walk. Such that there is a space to walk. Then after, I will see a suitable place to arrange tables and chairs, quite obviously nearer to the door, such that as soon as the people enter, okay, can sit and start reading newspapers, etc. stuff. So that's the second part, which is arrangement of tables and chairs is there. Then I will think about this arranging this big pile of books into the shelves. How shall I arrange? Obviously, the most popular one I will be keeping in the shelves which are nearer to the entry point of the library, which are not used very commonly, uh, okay, very occasionally. Then I am going to put them at the end of the library, in the sense the last shelves of the library. In the shelf itself, I will think in a way such that, okay, let me put the popular books by what is that volume or edition, latest author, popularity of the author, and so on. Now, what I'm trying to tell here is, does somebody need to tell you this? No, not at all. Okay, this is the general thinking. This is the general tendency of human being. Okay, uh, while arranging the things or solving the things. For example, if you are planning for a vacation, there are certain steps you take care, right? Okay, so you take care of booking of tickets, okay, for the convenience, and see that the hotels are something available at the destination and so on. Okay, you make arrangements, cash, everything, whatever you need for the vacation. These are that's it's similar to arranging a big hall and making it elaborate. So I mean to tell that here is, if you are given a task, let me call that big task as capital T. If you are given a big task called as capital T, knowingly or unknowingly, you tend to divide that big task into subtasks. And finally, you club them, join them, all of them, okay, and say that capital T is achieved. That is what has to be exhibited uh, in the procedural programming languages for the method of solving the problem using modular approach. I'll do one thing, okay? Here we have an example and see whether what I am telling makes sense or not, okay? I will be writing a C code, but before that, what I'm going to do is trying to give you an understanding of what is the modular approach. Here, I'm trying to share the screen. Just give me a moment, guys. We'll come back to the slide part again. So here is the screen. I'm trying to share. Now, do not worry about how the program is written. So let me put here what is that I'm trying to tell. How shall we solve the given task into subtasks? It is what you are trying to see here. If capital T is the given big task for you, and you should divide the big task into possibly subtasks like this. Finally, once you are clear, okay, and then you may join them or club them, okay, append them all and say that capital T is achieved. Now you can consider here capital T is our library. Consider T1, T2, T3, T4, etc. as what? Arranging shelves, arranging tables, chairs, arranging books in order. Okay. These all are subtasks. Okay. So if you're planning for a travel, then you have small tasks, and all those small tasks joined together is what? The capital T, the given task is there. So in this regard, I'm picking up a small task, okay, which is like we need to verify whether the given number is Adam number. This is small discussion, small example. Don't worry. 12 is considered the Adam number because what you need to do is take this number and square it. If I square it, what will I get? I get 144. So what did I did here? I did the square of this number. I got what? 144. Then what I'm going to do is reverse this number to get 441. Then find its square root, and its what? Square root. Yeah. So what is that? The square root of 441? We get 21. And then we reverse this 21 to get. So at the end of this process, I again got 12. Can you see here? So if that property is applicable for a given number, then such a number is called as Adam number. Now I am giving you, let us say, this task. Okay. If you are giving me this task to me, how shall I approach? How shall I solve this? Again, I'm repeating what is an added number for the purpose of clarity. Given a number 12, we square it, we get 144. We reverse it, we get 441. We find the square root of it, we get 21. And for that square root, we reverse it again, we get what? 12. So the end number 12 is equivalent to the given number n. So if both the numbers are same, then I will say that such a number is an added number. Then what I said, does it fit here? As I said in the line number 20. So I should not be panicked in writing this entire code as a single piece of program. Instead, I need to check, can I split this entire task into possible subtasks? In order to do that, I need to first of all verify or identify what are all the possible subtasks I can find in it. Okay, maybe like this. I need to have a subtask, call it as SQR, which is capable of giving me square of a number. Of course, speaking programmatically, because square of a number is just n into n. Somebody will not write a subtask. Just to give you the glimpse of a modular approach, let us consider for the sake of discussion. Oh. Then I need to also find the square root of a given number. Okay, so I need to find the square root of a given number. Okay, so this module, what it should do is, it should give me the root of the square root of a given number. Some number. I may give to this module some square root, some number. It has to give back me the square root of that number. Similarly, I should be having another subtask which is going to give me the reverse of a number. So to it, I give 27. It should give me back 72. So this should give me the reverse of a number. What reverse of a number? Anything else I can imagine about anything pending from the entire from the entire problem statement? Nothing. Squaring a number, reversing a number, finding the root. So once I have identified these are the three subtasks, then I can start working on this. I can start working on this. So therefore, okay, now the things is the code part, but don't worry. I will not even write the code. Just indicate what is this SQR. Just assumptions, all are assumptions. This is SQR, which is going to give me the uh, square of a number. This is the square root of, okay, module. Module means what? Subprogram. Okay, that is the meaning of modular approach. You divide the program into subprograms. Means you are going to divide the program into large program into modules or subprograms or functions, whatever we call it. Okay, and I have this one as reverse. Then what I do? Okay, so I have with me some number n. I have with me some number n. I'm not even writing the code, guys. Okay, do not feel any kind of difficulty. We are not teaching right now, just giving the skeleton. So say I have with me a number called as n, which I input from keyboard. My objective is right now check whether this number is a add a number or not. I will just see if I see that, okay, uh, this n I am going to square it. This n I am going to square it. Good. After I square it, then whatever it is giving me, that I am going to reverse it. And whatever the reverse is giving me, then I'm going to find the square root of it. Whatever the square root it is giving me, okay, that I am going to find the reverse of it. For the square root, I'm going to find the reverse of it. And if I see that this entire approach is giving me the actual number, obviously I can say, yes, it is an added number. Otherwise, no. I can print a message like, yes, it is. Otherwise, no. Otherwise, what? No. That's it. See how the things are simpler once everything is broken into possibly the modules. We did not write the entire code, okay, intentionally that is. Okay, I want to just give you how the things can be benefited are easily solvable, okay, by using this modular approach. Okay, so that's a great one example just to um, try to convince you. Okay, so modular approach is going to uh, solve the problem quite easily. It is having its benefits on its own. It's debugging is easy. Okay, solving the problem is easy. Readability is there. Maintainability is good. All these are the advantages of modular approach. Well then, let me switch back to our slide part. Hope now the screen is available from that window. I can hear just to understand what's happening. So that is what we discussed about modular approach. Let's move ahead. So here, let us talk. This is just history. You may Google, you get it. Okay, but still, let me add. Yes, the right hand of the screen, you see that the guy who designed this C programming language, generally referred as Dennis Ritchie, but his complete name is Dennis McAllister Ritchie. Okay, designed in 1972, he actually inspired from a programming language in those days called as B. There are some flaws in it. He fixed that. Okay, and he designed at AT&T Bell Laboratories, USA, C programming language. And after that, many improvements are made basically. Okay, this guy is not the alone guy who designed the C programming language. He is having a companion. Okay, his name is Brain Kernighan. Okay, so that guy also contributed in the design of C programming language. Well, there is a popular book available right today also. It's called as K and R C programming. Okay, so these two guys have written that book. Okay, Dennis Ritchie and Brain Kernighan. K stands for Kernighan. Okay, so R stands for Ritchie. Anyways, let's move on. One important thing ESC has given to the world, guys. That is most important thing. Okay, so you can start estimating the power of C right from the discussion which we are going to make right now. Earlier, operating systems were designed using assembly language. Assembly language having instructions such as mnemonics in it. The problem with the assembly language is very difficult to write the code, okay, and portability also a factor, okay, a major factor in the assembly language. Now, after C has designed, the most popular operating system, Unix, was redesigned using C programming language. That's the breakthrough these two guys has
So
given to the
let's
world.
summarize what we
Yes, of
have
course, right
discussed
hand
so
side we
far
see
in
Dennis
this week.
Ritchie,
In this
left hand
week,
side
the
is
students were
Ken
introduced
Thompson.
to
Ken
an
Thompson. He's the
automation. What
one
is
who led the
automation?
Unix operating
What are
system,
different
Ken Thompson.
components involved in it?
Till
We also
then,
discussed
no
various
operating
levels
system
of
in the world
automation from
designed
0 to
using a
5
high-level
and what does it
programming
really
language
mean and where we are at this
such as
point in
C or
time.
some other
And then we
programming language,
discussed
some other
the
high-level
first
programming language.
standardization
This is
and
the first
how
time,
this
okay,
is an
these two
extremely
guys
challenging
together given a
aspect
breakthrough to the
for
world,
the regulatory bodies as well,
and
and not
which
just for the
has
testers
really
but also
opened, okay, several
enforcers.
opportunities
We also discuss the
in
future of
software
mobility,
development or
Hyperloop.
system
What is
software
the
development.
concept of
System software
Hyperloop?
means designing operating
How does it
systems,
work?
guys. Okay,
And what does it
that's
entail?
it. Okay,
And what does it mean
then
in
Brain
terms of
Cunningham and
safety?
Dennis Ritchie.
And
Picture is
we also
not there.
discuss
This is Ken
challenges. What are
Thompson,
the
if you have
greater
seen in the
challenges
picture.
involving all
Cunningham
of
and Dennis
this?
Ritchie.
And what are
Again,
the efforts being
re-released
made
1978 C
to achieve
language.
this? We
Okay,
discussed all of that.
and in the
Thank you so much.
1989, standardization has come into the picture, guys. So because from 72 to 89, C journeys were very popular and successful. Okay, then the vendors are coming to design C compilers, and ANSI committee. ANSI means American National Standards Institute thought that standardization is essential such that vendors who design the C compiler maintain uniformity. Then from there, a lot of improvements are coming from in the year 1989 and CCV got released. Okay, in the 99, some more improvements are made. C11, again some more, and C14, again some more improvements are made. So these are just versions. So whenever you see following C99, 11 or 14, something like this, they are the years describing in which year the updates have been released into the market. Okay, that's it. That's a short story about evolution of C programming language. In this entire short story, you need to just appreciate what C has done. Okay, so giving the ability to design an entire operating system. So far, then used to be only applications or programs or softwares were designed using C language. But immediately, okay, these guys have proven that yes, operating system can also be designed. And with this as inspiration, immediately Macintosh came into picture. Windows also designed their operating system using C++ actually. They did not design directly using C and so on. Okay. Linux is of course designed using entire C programming language. Okay. Now, after you are completing your course, what do you think? Where do you stand? Well, yes, learning the nuances of C programming language, mastering the tricks of C programming language is one area. Fine, understood. We can of course help you to become a good, okay, master programmer in the C programming language. That is there. Parallel, other thing important is you should be having a proper. Uh, for example, let me give you. Okay, let us say you are electronic students. Well, do you have sufficient knowledge, your core knowledge from your academics? Did you gain it? You are a computer student. Did you gain sufficient knowledge or not? I'm not saying excellent. Are you moderate or good? That is fine. That is sufficient. So whatever the area you come from, okay. So if you back up your C programming language with your domain knowledge, then obviously you can easily grab a job in the industry. That's not a big deal. So for example, if you go for an interview, nobody is going to pinpoint. Of course, I know that most of the academics do have C programming language, but they are not limited to ask questions about C language. They're going to ask you about, okay, how you well performed in your academics. Okay, so what is your domain of interest? Okay, so is your domain of interest is mapping with the requirement and so on. Because these are also will be there. So please, I recommend strongly that we need to um, also have a look or revision of our domain knowledge. So this is the one way you may grab the opportunity in the industry. The other one is, well, it's a shortcut. You directly go into any company and get placed. Okay, such as be a good problem solver using C programming language. Then there are many companies which are offering competitive coding. Clear them, grab the opportunity. As simple as it is. Okay. So you put your 100% efforts while learning the programming language. Also improvise your logical abilities in solving the problem. You can directly appear for any competitive coding such as TCS, Ninja, or Infotq, okay, or Capgemini, and so on. Okay, so you can write the tests if you are just academic pass out and go ahead and grab the opportunity as simple as that is. Okay, so both ways, back it up with your proper domain knowledge, you can grab the opportunity. Okay, having good problem solving skills. Okay, which you can exhibit in the competitive coding is also a door. These are the two doors available for you to grab a good opportunity in the industry. Well then, let's move ahead further. Yeah, what are the domains C programming language uses? Okay. As I said in the beginning, okay, so this gets a tag name called as general purpose programming language, and it should be applicable to design any kind of software. Well, recommendations are there. in spite of being a general purpose programming language. Okay. Yes, you can go for embedded applications design. Okay, you can go for system programming design, low-level coding. Okay, miscellaneous programs such as designing algorithms for what is that, hashings, encryptions, blah blah blah. Okay, the opportunities are plenty here. Okay, but still, you need to look about what are you good at. So, for example, somebody is good at working with the image processing. Somebody is good with talking to the system hardware. Somebody is good with the text processing or design and scripting kind of thing. Okay, somebody good at talking to database using C programming language. Somebody good at designing protocols at OS level, and so on and so on. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Okay, so alone with C programming language, having some uh, knowledge about domain and you exhibit your C skills with that domain is also essential. Okay, so that's it, guys. Okay, so that's all about what are the domains C is using. Okay, so these are the recommendations we are seeing, but still C stands to be a general purpose programming language. Let's move ahead further. Yeah, some facts. Which companies are using C language? Qualcomm, which is basically designs chipsets and processors for the mobiles. Okay, they use C language. Google uses C language at the very core level, not at what you see the websites and so on. It's something like Google uses C language in pathfinding. For example, you are searching or you are traveling from one source to other source. Then the algorithms of data structures are used, okay, to determine the best suited path and so on. Like Qualcomm, okay, HCL is also having a sector, okay, which mainly works with the embedded system. Okay, Motorola, needless to say, it's all completely about communication devices, which is of course dealing with the hardware and so on. The C is pretty good. C is pretty good with talking to hardware guys. Not only C++ also. In that area, no one can beat C and C++ in the area of where robustness, speed is the benchmark. Okay, when you are designing applications for embedded systems and so on. Okay, so if you want to talk to hardware, well, C is very good. C is very good to talk to hardware. For example, let me say, how does the C and C++ hold a fetching point when compared to Java? Of course, Java is a legend. That's a different story. But how does still C and C++ had an advantage over Java? Speed. Because there is nothing, if you're writing a software which is executing on a machine, okay, that could be a laptop, computer, server, some electronic device, phone, whatever it is, there is nothing between the hardware and your program. Your program directly communicates with the hardware, hence obviously there is a speed. But in Java, something is coming between your source code, your executable, which is called as bytecode in the hardware, and the coming between thing is called as what? JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So that is the advantage. Okay. So hence, even though C is designed more than 40 years back, still in the industry, it's being used, and I have listed over there some sample industries. Now, I think you will get convinced right now what is the meaning of general purpose programming language. What legends you can imagine you on a single hand can design beyond this. Here is the examples. Entire Unix designed in C language. Entire Linux is designed in C language. Your Androids, your mobile Android, okay, the core thing entirely designed in C language. You are using a building lift, it is a C program. Your remote control, TV remote control, it is a C program. Many browsers are designed using C language. Firefox in C++. Okay. Another one called as NetSurf in C. So what legends you can imagine? That's why uh, it is important to understand. Yes, C is a general purpose programming language. C is everywhere. Well, the thing is, if I want to draw a circle, I can use a paintbrush, click on the circle button and drag it. I get a circle. But if you want to do the same thing in C programming language, you need to spend time. That's why in our earlier slide, I mentioned over there. Okay. Possibly, what is the thing varying is okay level of effort. Level of effort obviously varies. Okay, certain things are easy, effective, and robust in C programming language. Okay, certain things apart from these, what are the attributes I mentioned? Time-taking process. Got it? So hence, it's left to your wisdom. Okay, so basically, it's the combination of your interest and the C language. And more importantly, C opens the door to learn any sort of programming language quite coolly. Just I give an example, you can evaluate that into the outside world. A C programmer wishes to switch to Python programming language. It is just a cakewalk for him. On the other hand, if you assume the reverse thing, it's a hell walk for Python programmer. That is the difference. That is why, okay, these universities, these academics are not crazy people to just have C as a part of the curriculum. Okay, that's the thing about that. Yes, I got a raised hand from. Now, here we come to the end of this discussion. Okay. Uh, yes, how she can help you is having. Can you see the screen, guys? Yeah. So here it is. Check your domain area of interest. Get well informed with the programming language most suited for your domain area. Okay. As I said earlier, uh, you need to sharpen your programming skills parallel to your domain knowledge and use the programming constructs effectively. Uh, Exhibit your programming skills in the desired domain of interest. So these are the things C can help you. Okay, so it can help you to sharpen your programming language skills. It can help you to exhibit your C language in your domain area. Okay, it can help you to grab opportunities outside. Okay, in by exhibiting your skills with domain or by clearing the competitive coding. Okay. So that's it. Okay, that's all from my end. If you have any questions, go ahead, guys. Thank you all.